The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are those of the host/guest and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any of BXR entities and those they represent.
Hey, what's what? Y'all know how I go. Thank you so much for joining today's show. You better live. It's the goddess Chas. Y'all know me. ChasReal, the Empress Lady Cake Mix. Look, I just love saying that. But look, before I came on the show, like, I was tripping, right? Because I was telling people, like, I'm always rhyming, but I don't be trying. I don't. It's my natural gift. They told me to cut it out, but I can't stop, won't stop, and I'm not. So guess what? I'm a rhyme all the time. But anyhow, I got an awesome show for y'all tonight. Today's topic is, I had a little controversy with that too. Is it the goodness for your soul? That's right. But we're going to talk about all the goodness that feeds it. So if you're joining the show tonight, please, once we get into that discussion, feel free to call in, make comments on the chat. You can just give us a shout out. Let us know you're here. Say, hey, or let me know what's what. Always a pleasure to come through. Wow, we are already past a full week into the new year, and 2023 has definitely showed up and been here. Y'all know how I get down. I got to give all praise and honor to God. So I show up my show off with a prayer, just opening up for that light and that love, because we ain't up for no foolishness up in here. Ain't no nonsense up in here. So without further ado, let me get into this prayer. I do try to keep it short and sweet, not for it to be phony, because look, it's too real to be fake up in here. But just to get to it and just to always acknowledge God and letting y'all know that that's where my heart lies, and hopefully that's where your heart lies, because whatever we are doing, God is in control. So I have to definitely give him thanks. So God, we come to you and say thank you, oh Father God. God, continue to keep us, Lord. Continue to guide us, oh Father God. Lift us up where we fall short. Oh, Father God, I cry out to you, Lord, for a special spirit of peace and healing for everybody in my city, oh, Father God. It's so much, oh, Father God, that's going on, oh, Father God, but I thank you, Lord, for giving me the ability and other people I know to be able to witness the goodness here. I thank you for the ability and the opportunity to bring that light right through here on my show, oh, Father God. But dear God, please, oh, Father God, don't let them feel that they are forgotten. Oh, Father God, I pray that they never forget that you are always there, always in control, oh, Father God, helping them and leading the way, oh, Father God. We thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. I always say, wherever your faith lies, you cannot deny that God is the one. Okay? I'm just saying. But anyway, y'all know I've been doing my thing. Like I told y'all, 2023 has been coming through in a really, really good way. Y'all know I was complaining a little bit last year, but not complaining, just giving some acknowledgement. Like, look, I've been calling around my guests. I didn't know what was going on. It was something about that Wednesday. That was that hump day, baby. And I was reaching out on that Wednesday, and people say, you know what? Well, my schedule, right? So I say, well, no, I'm going to start doing it on a Tuesday. And then I'll start doing the introduction on the Wednesday on who's going to be in the guest. And for whatever reason, the universe and God has been allowing it to work out perfectly for me. And for some awesome connections that I've been making along the way, guess what they've been doing? They've been helping me make connections with other people. And baby, they've been coming through here. People been hitting my phone. They want to come on here and they want to talk to you and tell you how they living. You know, that's what I use my platform for, right? That's what this is about. Like, we know all the negativity in the world. We know negativity is out there. If anyone says that you have to be positive all the time, that's the drive. But the reality is that sometimes that's not the case. The main point that I always try to make is that And I had guests that also promote this and can tell you this. And I remember Queen Bia. Look, I'm gonna keep bringing her name up like I was bringing my girl Shalina. But I remember, she has that peaceful healing. And that was really all it's about. Just being at peace with knowing that the negativities will come, but just knowing that you might not be okay, but it will be okay. You know what I mean? And with so much loss, so many of us have people that we have loved in our life that have transitioned on to another life. Some people that we know that were full of life that have succumbed to illnesses, not only, from passing away, but just like no longer than itself, whatever the case. People get in accidents, people fall sick, whatever. People get into trouble, go into jail, all of that. But I always just think about the people that did transition, and I know them so full of life, right? And that's how I stay going, right? I'd be like, if they could talk to me today, they would say, Chas, all that stuff we was worrying about, girl, when we was stressing and we was confiding and everything, girl, it really don't matter. So I've just gotten to a point in my life where I know that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And guess what? I'm just going to keep on going. And I'm going to encourage you to do the same. We got somebody over here in the chat named Retro that say amen, and boom, amen to that. But tonight, if you've seen my introduction yesterday, I like to break things down for y'all because, I feel like when you let people in, they really come in with you. You know what I'm saying? So I like to give y'all a rundown on how I do things. I told y'all I started that new thing on doing my reels on a Wednesday. My guest who's actually came on gave me the idea. Maybe I need to start doing a flyer too, because that was pretty dope. So that may be coming that way, right? But I do that. And the queen that I have here tonight, because of the topic being the goodness that feeds your soul, I wanted to open it up to ask my audience tonight, what helped you? What helped you? I mentioned in my life is laughter, is music.
There are two topics tonight, apparently.
I do, yes. 2 topics, Monty. You know. But anyway, Monty was like, what is the topic of the show? Is it the goodness that feeds your soul or the goodness for your soul? But guess what? Same thing. What they say, tomato, right? Tomato, okay? But but the goodness for your soul, that's the topic. We got it. The goodness for your soul. And I want y'all to share what is some goodness that you feel is definitely essential for your soul. And the guest that I have tonight, I think is going to be one of those peoples, a spirit out here coming with light and love is going to tell you what is the goodness for her soul. And the goodness that I feel that she is putting on in the world is through music and art. She loves to share that light and love through the music and art. And without further ado, I'm going to let her join in on the conversation because it is the wonderful artist, songwriter, Dashira Zanaya.
Yeah, you got it right.
See, I had it right. How you?
I am great. How are you doing today?
I am doing good. I'm feeling all right tonight. It is cold, but let me tell you, that little introduction I listened to on your album you just released on that Twilight is hot.
Okay? Thank you.
It made me want to lay down. I was like, hold on, where my man at? Because it just put me in that mood, right?
Yes.
Yes. So all of our listeners, all my faithful followers, this is the Queen, Dashira Zanaya, who has joined me. You were also on tour, right? You were doing like the tour for the promotion, or it was just...
Yes. I'm doing a mini tour that I'm actually putting together. Just recently, though, I've just been doing different open mic nights and things of that nature, but I am putting together a tour for this year to promote the album.
Okay, you must. You have to know that. And how many songs are on the album?
It's 7.
It's 7. See?
7 songs.
Excuse me. That's that water. It's 7. And listen, we here at 7. Look at that. It's a blessing. I play
it's alignment.
Nothing happens miraculous, girl. I play on all of that, numbers, signs, and everything else like that. But just like I was saying, I did get to listen to the preview. The first one. Forgive me, I don't remember the name, but it definitely had me in a trance. I was like, okay. She's Erykah Badu, her India Ivory, her Jill. It just was like a really sultry vibe, and I loved it. I've seen in your bio information that you have studied jazz and blues. So you give us a little information on that?
Yes. And that song is called Silent Interlude. It's one of the first songs on the album. Yeah. But yes, I did go to school for jazz voice at El Camino College. It's in Torrance, California. So I did study that in college. So I love the jazz sounds. You'll hear a lot of jazz sounds on my album, a lot of bluesy sounds. You'll even hear a little bit of R&B as well. Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely what I studied in school.
Yes. And it gave me that type of feel. Like, I definitely hear that on R&B up in there, that soul. It was giving me all of that, like just from that little, not little, because it definitely was a big thing. Look, I'm going to check my vocabulary. But yeah, silent interlude, it just like really relaxed me, right? So I remember you sent me all the information. I was following all the links. I got to go back on the Apple thing. We're going to make sure before the end of the show, we're going to have all your information over here in the chat, guys, because you had to support this beautiful young Black queen. She's on Apple Music. You hear says she's doing a mini tour. She has this album out. I know it came out just last week.
Yes, literally. It's been out for a total of what? It's the 12th. It's been out for 12 days. I dropped it January 1st.
January the
1st. And with no warning. I literally just dropped it. And to be honest, with this particular album, I just wanted to get a test of what people would feel about my sound.
Okay.
And I've been getting a lot of great feedback from it. A lot of women and men, they say they really like it to the point where it makes them very relaxed, like you said, like it just makes you want to lay down. And then my aunt said she wanted to see her man, so it made her in that mood too.
I told you, I said that. I was listening to it, that silent interlude, and then the little video that was on there. I'm telling you, I was like bobbing. I was like, you know what? I got, and it's crazy that you brought it out on January 1st, 2023, because I think immediately when you sent it to me, I was like, you know what? This year, come on, universe. I'm trying to manifest me a good man, because look, I'm trying to have a silent interlude, because what you were saying, I was like, yes, I want to feel that. And it wasn't nothing like what can I say, like raunchy or explicit. It was just like really, like it made me feel like I wanted that intimacy with him, and I just wanted to be like how you were in the park somewhere and just vibing and everything else like that. Yes, Retro, I guess Retro, whoever here is one of your fans, baby. Retro. You said the album is amazing.
Thank you, Retro.
I do not doubt that. I do not doubt that at all. So like you said, you just dropped it like so suddenly. How long did it take you? Was this like over time? Are these songs that you created like suddenly, or it was like through the years? Or tell us about that.
So you want to know a secret?
What's that?
These songs I actually made about 4 to 5 years ago.
See? It's so hot.
So it's timeless. It was an experiment I did. Once I released it, everybody still rocked with it as if I just made it last week in the studio. So it's timeless.
That's
and
good
it makes
music.
Good.
Good music is timeless. Good music is timeless. Before we came on the air, that was one of the points that I was making, because good music is timeless, you know. Like how I was saying, like some of my inspirations for me when I evolved into my artistry, you know, I did hip hop and poetry and everything.
Oh, wow. That's
But a
awesome.
lot of my inspirations, I'm not a singer, but everybody used to always just say I look like I sing and I can sing, right? And I used to play with it sometimes. I used to say, you know what, I'm gonna harmonize. I know I could practice and probably be perfect. Tooting my own horn. But I had inspirations, and usually we take it from music that's timeless, or people that were born definitely before we were.
I'm not falling for your trap. You keep trying to give me openings, and I'm not getting in there.
Come on through, Monty. Come on through. Come on through. Come on through. You know I need that. But usually our inspirations come from people that are not in our generation, right?
Yeah.
So would you say that is for yourself? Like,
yes, Lauryn Hill,
definitely.
Billie Holiday,
Yes.
Nat King Cole.
Yes.
Man, and the Etta James, she's a big one for me.
Yes.
She's a huge one for me. Etta
That's
James.
that jazz and that blues, baby.
Jazz, blues, and what all those artists have in common is that they have soul music. They have that soul. They have that spiritual like music that you can just feel with your heart. And like you mentioned with Silent Interlude, it's about love. Yes. And if you like, let's say you don't even really listen to the lyrics, but if you just feel the music with your body and in your heart, a lot of people are like, oh, I need to find my man, or I need to find my girlfriend, and they just want to be in that mood. So it's definitely that's where my inspiration came from. It's just Lauryn Hill, Billie Holiday. I like to study a lot of the older artists because it's amazing what they do. Like just this morning, I was just listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire in my car.
Yes.
It's timeless. Their music is timeless. And that's the artist that I aspire to be.
Yes, definitely. And can you, well, not imagine, but you should be really blown away at the fact that you're going to be that for someone.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? You're going to be exactly that. You know, many years from now, when people are going to be asking a question to some other young artist, who was your inspiration, or what made you, you know, inspire, what style or whatever, you know, not that you try to copy or mimic, but who you were feeling or who you could relate to that made you want to do what you're going to do. And your name is going to be mentioned. They're going to be like, Dashira, Zanaya. Yeah. They're going to be like, it was her. So me too, same, you know, like sometimes because I mentioned like I wasn't a singer, just was doing poetry or whatever. So people used to sometimes be confused, like, well, how can you be inspired by artists who are, you know, doing different things and different genres, and it inspires you? And I'm like, yeah, that's the great thing about inspiration. You know what I mean? It can be someone who doesn't sing at all, as well, that inspires you.
Yeah.
As far as how, you know, in your creativity, on how you create your songs, or, you know, however you get along or whatever else like that. I always feel that way, you know?
Yes, it can literally come from anywhere. And for music is frequency, you know, it's different frequencies, it's different energy levels. So it's all about feeling. So not only does music inspire me, a lot of my poet friends, Retro is actually a poet who was on here.
Yeah.
They inspire me. Their pieces, their emotions behind it. Even in acting, I act as well. So singing is my main thing, but acting, singing, dancing, all of those form of expressions, I can just get inspired from watching a movie or a play, or even while watching you do some of your poetry.
Yeah,
you know, it
just getting it out. It's such a great thing to be able to get it out, what you're feeling, and be able to do it in a productive way of expression, far as, you know, the artistry of singing, of drawing, you know, different artists. And I always say that's a fact. Artists inspire artists, and and vice versa. Singers influence dancers influence the poets, all of that. You know, it's that deepness and it's that uniqueness, I think, that gravitate, you know, us towards that having that type of connection. So I know that you've been studying music. I'm impressed that you've been studying since the age of 7. But go ahead. Since 7?
Yeah, since 7. That's when I realized that that's what I wanted to do. Right. So before that, because as children, we already know, like, oh, I want to be this and I want to be that. So I originally wanted to be a doctor. I want to be a pediatrician for children. I have a passion for children and helping children, loving on children. So before the age of 7, it was just like, oh, mommy, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor. I want to help people. I want to save the world. Right.
Right.
And then that's when I was introduced to Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
And I heard her music and I heard how she made me feel in my soul. And I'm like, wow, like, how could she do that just with her voice as a 7-year-old girl?
Right.
So I'm like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to sing. I did not know how to sing. I had a very raspy voice as a child, right?
Right.
A very raspy voice. So I told my mom, I'm like, I want to be a singer. And I would like learn little songs. And then I would go to her and I would sing it in front of her. And she was like, that's not it, baby. Keep rehearsing. Keep rehearsing. And I would be like, Mommy, I want to sign up for the talent show. She was like, wait. Give it some time, keep rehearsing. And my aunt at the time in Florida, this is when we lived in Florida, my whole life. I mean, we've traveled a lot, but particularly this point of time in my life in Florida, my aunt at the time, her name is Marcy. She's an adopted aunt. She was a vocal coach. So she would work with me. And she would just say, sing every day, sing while you're in the shower, listen to your the artists that you like, and then just study them. And then she taught me how to breathe. And eventually I came to my mom and I sang Father, Can You Hear Me? The gospel song.
Well, yes.
I sang that song to her and she started crying.
Oh.
And I'm like, and I'm like, was it that bad?
You're like, wait, what's going on here?
Was it that bad? And she's like, that was beautiful.
Good.
Baby, you're ready now. So when people tell me like, oh, I don't know how to sing, I'm like, if anything you put your mind to, honey, you can do it. I rehearsed. I was dedicated. I rehearsed every day. And then I presented it to her and she was in tears behind it. And that's when I knew like, oh, wow, I can do that with my voice. What else can I do? And then that's where it started.
Oh, amazing. Consistency and persistency is definitely the way to go. That is amazing. I mean, even at the age of 7, to have those dreams to want to be a doctor and even come to the realization that, hey, I want to be a singer. Like that's even amazing because and really to go through with that and really pursue that in your life because
thank you.
I'm sure, and like you said, having a love for children. So I'm sure you get to interact with children. They change their mind all the time.
Oh yeah.
So to be a grown woman and you're still pursuing actually what your dream was, that's amazing.
Yes.
You were just 7 years old. And in some inkling, you are a doctor. Like you're like, you're goodness for the soul. That's like, you know what I mean? Yes, you're like a doctor for the soul. You can also use your music, create other songs, like how you said, to love on children. I'm sure that that's already like part of your stuff is like, to make people feel loved and, and everything.
Music,
So that's awesome.
Yeah, musical. They have careers in that, like musical therapy.
Yeah.
I used to sing at old folks' homes. Okay. And I realized I would sing because a lot of the songs that I sing are usually in their era.
Yeah.
So they would cry a lot. And I'm like, I'm not trying to make them cry. So then I switched it up. I realized because it music and the frequency and energy that it brings out, depending on what you're talking about, it really plays on the heartstrings of people. You know, it really does influence people greatly. So when I was singing the old folks' homes, I'm like, okay, I have to sing something a little bit upbeat. So then I would switch to From At Last.
Yeah.
To Did I Do, like, you know, a little bit something more upbeat, and then they will be more happy and dancing. So music influences. It really does influence people's emotions, and it does heal.
Yes, it certainly does. It definitely does. We have Nia. I hope I'm saying your name right as well, Queen. She says she's already all that for me. Go ahead now. The love is real. And you know, we do have the phone lines open at 443-642-9403. So if you want to call and give Queen Dashira, Zanaya a shout out, let her know what you think right here and now, because I think it's also important to give people their flowers while they're here. Let people know how much you think of them and how much you appreciate her gift and her music. That would be so awesome. So the couple of people who was already commenting on the chat, I'm assuming they're your friends. They already, one says the album is amazing, so she done heard the whole album. I'm a little bit jealous. So I said I got to get on that Apple Music to get that. And Nia saying she's already all that for me, and I believe that. Because when she reached out to me and she sent me the information, I immediately went to everything. And I was like, oh, I was drawn in by your pictures. And like I said, as soon as I heard the introduction to the album, Solid Interlude, and it just put me in a place, I said, oh, this is my type. Yeah, you know, my spirit was definitely feeling it. But just like how you were saying, in music having that connection, and I think a lot of times when you go into the old folks home, you know, it may have been when they were hearing the songs, it was bringing back memories from that time. That they were missing. It's certain songs that I still hear from way back then, like A Change Is Gonna Come. I think I shed tears every time I hear that song.
Oh my gosh,
Your Inspiration, Lauryn Hill. Yes, at a time before I had locks. You couldn't tell me I wasn't Lauryn Hill. I was getting the synthetic ones in my head. I was rapping. You couldn't tell me I wasn't Lauren or Erykah Badu. You could not. I even had a job where they used to call me Jill Scott. They used to be like, oh, that's Jill Scott.
I can get that.
Put your name right. So I used to be like, okay, right? I used to say, yeah, I think we just got the same smile, that chipper type of smile. But they're all beautiful sisters. But why I'm bringing that point up too is because, you know, a lot of the music today, unfortunately, has moved away from. I heard another like commentator that was just talking to another social media personality, and they just was saying, you know, it was a time when our music consisted of so much love and it was positive messages, and even though they were living through some negative and some of the harshest time when it came to, you know, racial inequality and, you know, just all types of stuff. You know, it wasn't only that. But
I remember.
All of this different stuff is like they use their music to express themselves and kind of like deliver themselves out of that. And even living amongst all that negativity, they still try to make it, you know, positive. And that's why I'm a little sometimes frustrated. Like when we talk about our inspirations, such as Lauryn Hill and different things. And there's a couple of new artists who will come out as well that are on the mainstream, SZA, you know, different ones who kind of have that talk some positive. But sometimes I'm a little bit frustrated because we don't have a lot of that, and especially in the hip hop, you know, even with the R&B, it's crazy. Like I said, your song Silent Interlude gave me like that relaxation, like, oh, I just want to be, you know, like that pure intimacy. But there's a lot of R&B and there's a lot of people out here that's claiming to be soul and everything else like that. And the songs are just raunchy. They don't make you, it's all about creeping, sneaking, you know, and everything, you know, and it may intrigue people to listen to it. But we really have to be careful on the things that we let in to our soul. So a lot of times it sounds good, but it's not the goodness. You know what I mean? It'll put you in a way to be thinking some type of way. So what do you feel about that? Like with today's music, do you?
Yeah, you're completely right. We did get away from, if you go back in the day, Wu-Tang Clan and Oh Dirty Bastard,
Yes,
and
they was having fun.
Yeah, no, they had fun. They made music about fun stuff. It wasn't it wasn't as sexualized.
Yes.
It wasn't as raunchy. I feel like we did get away from that. However, I do feel like people are seeking genuine, real music again.
Yeah.
I feel like people are really looking for that positivity. People are looking for peace. People are looking for healing. People are looking for that love in music again. But we definitely have gotten away from that. And I think it's just, sex sells.
Yeah.
Sex sells, and that's what it is.
And if that's what they're always talking about, you know what I mean? Then
sex sells. And it's like, however, I do feel like a lot of people are looking for, like, okay, we got a lot of sex. So where is what about that love? What about
it could still, sexy isn't bad, because even like with your song, and like I said, like even the video that went along with it, like it was sexy to me. Like it was sexy, but it wasn't raunchy, you know what I mean? Like I was getting that feel like, oh, I can, do
get my little man.
Yeah, but it didn't like make me feel, like raunchy, and it just was real, subtle, and it was
productive, sensual.
Yes.
About love and power. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And another one of the artists that I can think of that's like one of my faves. I listen to all her songs. I swear, I'll be like, listen, is she me? She be in my soul. And she just created a song. That's the girl Jasmine Sullivan now.
Oh my God.
Like, wait a minute. I mean, even when she changed her move from bust the windows out your car to come and pick up your feelings, like I was like, it's like I was on both waves. So when she was singing bust the windows out your car, I was there.
Yes, and she's relatable. Jasmine Sullivan, the artist Her, SZA, they're all relatable.
Yes,
they're all relatable, and it's not too crazy or raunchy music. It's just them speaking from their soul and their experiences,
right? And stuff that people go through that can relate to, and like how. Right, the stuff that we go through, like that be our story, So even in your music or whatever, and I guess, in that song that I keep on talking about, because it's just that awesome, solid interlude. If anyone is just joining, this is Queen Dashira, Zanaya. She's just had an album release, came out on 1/1/23, Twilight. The name alone just puts you in this like peaceful mood, if you really know the definition of what a twilight is. If you don't, look it up. Google will be your friend. But yes, we just need more music like that. It's goodness that feeds your soul. I say laughter for me. Anything can make you smile. And even in circumstances, things that can make you cry, because all tears aren't sad, depressed tears. Some moments you can shed tears and be sad, but or joyous sad, if you get what I mean.
Exactly.
All of that. So yeah, girl, it's all of that.
It's important.
It is. It really is. It really is. And I think people, even though we have stepped away from a little bit of always spreading that love, and regardless of the negativity, giving that positive aspect on it, or our insight on it as far as music. I think too, we're getting back to that. And I think people also just forget how important that was, and the influence that music has
Yeah.
Not just for on your soul, but over your life. Like
Over your life.
it can be like hypnotizing, you know what I mean? So
100%.
it's like music to me is like form of affirmations. You know, if I'm listening to something all the time that's telling me to hate, I'm sad, or whatever, you know, whatever, then that's what I'm gonna be. Even when I'm listening to those songs where I can relate when it is one of those sad moments, or whatever, you know what I mean? I kind of find joy in it because it's like, wow, like I said with Jasmine Sullivan, like, dang, she me.
Yes, exactly. It's just that it's being relatable in that. And then I really do, it's just us getting back to that. And I've been seeing a lot more of it now.
Yeah.
A lot of artists are coming out that are way more pure.
Yeah.
When it comes to their artistry, like whether they get the views or not, or whether they get the sales or not, right? Like I said, sex sells, whether they get the sales or not. So for me specifically, I'm doing music because I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
It
makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy. I get my emotions out in the studio when I'm singing, just going to open mics and singing and just expressing and loving on people through my music. That's what it's about. Inspiring somebody.
That is definitely what it's about. And I want to get why you say open mic, because I told you I got into nitty gritty. I was checking you out. So I want to talk about something that I sing, which is one of my favorite songs that I seen you singing in an open mic. But let me get over into some of these comments, because we got some people on here, Queen Dashira, who are definitely showing you some love. Now, Nia is asking, how do you choose the right beats to achieve that soul feel?
How do I choose the right beats?
Like the music, I guess, to go with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do it two ways. So when I create music, when it's just me in my room in silence, I'll write. And I have a specific producer that is on the same level as me, the same frequency as me. We are here. I'll send him over my song a cappella. I'll record it. And then he builds around it. I just give him the idea. Other than that, I'll run down different music instrumentation that he may give me.
Okay.
And I'm looking for like guitar, I'm looking for drums, I'm looking for that sultry sound. It's a couple of ways, different ways. And then I also look at the subject that I want to speak about. Yeah. So if it's that soul feel, I'm looking for a beat where I'm maybe talking about love. So something that's maybe a little bit brighter, something that you can bop your head to, you know. So it's a lot of different ways that I actually do, Naya, that I do pick it out.
Right. So it kind of like goes both ways, you know. So like for me, I can remember when I used to write songs and I used to be doing my hip hop thing and stuff. It usually used to be they send me a beat. You know, like they would give me the beat and I would sit and I would kind of like vibe to it and whatever I was feeling. But if I wasn't feeling it, then I couldn't write to it.
You can't, yeah.
Like I can't write to it. I'm trying, you know, and even when we used to do like the samples, like use beats from people's songs that were already out there. If I did and I was interested in the beat, like, oh, I'm feeling that beat and I can write to it. My knack used to always be is the write from a different point of view. So if it was a song that was talking about something just like totally crazy, it might have been talking about sex, we're going to say that or whatever, then I'm going to rap to it and I'm going to talk about peace or what it means not, you know, and
that's put a spin on it.
Yeah, and that's how I used to be feeling. I used to, or sometimes I used to hear beats and I used to hear songs and I used to be like, oh, they ain't do that beat no justice. I gotta, you know what I mean? I gotta write to that.
Let me come through.
Right. So it used to be a little bit of all of that. So yes, Nia, that's what she says. She has an awesome producer that is awesome. And she writes, she'll send her music, he'll listen, and voila, magic happens.
Yay.
And vice versa. And then we got Retro coming back on here. Retro, who you said is a poet.
Yes.
Retro, we might got to get you on the show because I love poetry. I also had a time in my life where we used to host poetry shows. Me and one of my dear cousins, Iffy Fatu, we had a poetry group called Creative Minds, and we used to host shows that was just poetry.
Wow.
We used to do like skits with poetry. That was like, people were like really into that. So that was going on. We used to tell stories, kind of like how they do the hip hop opera. It used to be like the poem opera. So we would have different poems, but we would also have like our skits, and everything that we were talking in our dialogue was poetry.
Wow,
so that was really fun, and I think I need to get back into that because I'm thinking back on something that you said, and when you were like, you know, when you hear the music out here today, and people are like, "Oh, sex sells or this sells or whatever," that was a little bit of what stopped me a little bit, not stopped me from following my passion. But when I was really, really in it, it's like people wanted me to be that, like what we see today. And
they want to put you,
they put you in this box. And you know, I always was hard, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I wasn't that. And like from a young age, even when I was in that and doing the hip-hop shows all the time, I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about that. Even when it was certain things that I was doing, drinking, smoking weed, I'm like, okay, that's what it is. We know that, but I don't want to talk about that. Like, what's good about that? So even back then, you know, I thank God that my spirit got it. You know what I mean? I can remember being at the studios and I would have verses and the guys would be like, no, just say this, or you're gonna do this. No, but no, that's not me. So it did stop a lot of opportunities, stopped it because back then they just wanted the woman to be hard. They wanted you to be like, you were like gangbanger. You know, right now sex sell, but back then they wanted you to be hard. They wanted you to talk about sex, but they wanted you to kind of be like this
tomboy.
Yeah, and I was that. Don't get me wrong, I was that. I did the flips and everything else like that, but the message that was coming in, I think I understood through my artistry and the gift that God had gave me, like that wasn't something that I wanted to put out in the world. Because like how we're talking about the goodness for your soul, I can remember at the start of that and hearing some other songs, and I'll be like, oh, I don't feel good, or you know, or that song would kind of make me feel some type of way. But let me get back to Retro comment before I get too far. He says, yes, I think the realness in music and the relatability is something people are looking for again, especially in rap. Yes, no cap, you ain't lying. And you can see it in artists like Corday and SZA.
Yes, 100%. I definitely agree, Retro. 100%.
Yes, I definitely agree 100%. And it's on the tip of my tongue. And I hate when that happens because my tongue just goes crazy. But it's another, and I cannot believe I don't remember at the moment. But there are a couple of rappers that, you know, are getting back to that. I can remember Kanye West, as much as people talk about him, Ye being crazy. I can remember a couple of songs they came up, and I love the Jesus Walks. Just coming. What's the guy? You might can help me out. That sings the Crooked Smile.
J. Cole.
Yes, like so dope. Like even his music, like he talks about what's going on, you know, in the world, relatable. He'll talk about the street life or whatever, but the way that he relays it. You know what I mean? Even the negativity, how he puts it out there makes you think about it in another way. It just definitely does. So we agree with that. And we got Queen Rabia. She says, who is your mom? She says, your voice touches the world, beautiful. And she said, can you sing a song for us? We are going to get to that, but that's the treat. That is the treat. So we are going to get to that definitely, because I seen you, girl. And that's when I already knew you could sing when I heard the solid interlude. Don't get me wrong. But I was strolling through your YouTube and I seen you do CeeLo Green.
Oh,
my favorite. I'm telling you, when I love that song so much that people thought I was crazy, like that's how much I was playing it. Because like how you said, even before I listened to the words, just the strum of the beat and just hearing that word crazy, I knew like, oh, he ain't talking about he crazy. He talking about some stuff in here, right?
Yes.
Then when I really got and I heard the words, and I'm like, yeah, is that I'm crazy? And that was my song.
I love CeeLo.
People thought I was crazy how much I was playing that song, okay? I was like, But anyway, when I heard you singing that, I was like, oh my goodness. And your rendition of it just was, like that was my song, but it hit me in another way. I was like, oh my goodness, she can sing. I played it a couple of times. Then you had the guy right there playing I was like,
Quentin. The guitarist. Oh, he's awesome.
I was like, yes, it was amazing. It was big. It's like it was soft. It was everything. I was like, yes,
thank you. I really appreciate that so much.
Yes, I was like, that is my song. And wait a minute, this lady sang it like that. Oh, she can sing. She can sing, because I mean, on the silent interlude, you were singing, but you were just relaxing.
It was a vibe,
it
right?
Was a vibe, right?
Yeah.
But with that CeeLo Green, and you were just hitting those notes, and you were going down, and the way you were harmonizing and running through, I was like, oh yes, you know what I mean? It gave me, how I said, one of my favorite female artists. It gave me like that Jasmine Sullivan, type of soul. She tried to what's her name. So I was like, yes. So we is gonna have to get you to sing on this show tonight. I know that's right. But before we do that, I want to talk more about how people can locate your album, how they can reach out to you. I know you are available. I know you're saying that you're doing it, your tour, your mini tour to do more and promoting the album. But I'm sure you're open for performances.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, we know that Inedible are transitioning. I know you're probably open to singing at services, praise, weddings, whatever it called for. So we want to make sure that if they want to hear your beautiful voice up in a place, they know how to get in contact with you. Yes, it is Retro. He says Dashira's voice is so inspirational.
Oh, thanks so much, Retro.
Isn't it?
Showing all that love.
Yes, showing all that love.
Zanaya, she's an actress. Rabia, peaceful healing instructor. Retro, the poet. All the love on here.
Yes, and then said always original. And I think that's what I was saying. Like, even though I heard you singing the CeeLo Green, like I said, I played it like I was crazy. You put your spin on it. It wasn't like how we said we have inspirations, but it was far from karaoke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
And that's no shun on the karaoke. No shun on the karaoke artists, okay? Because I done went through a couple of karaoke nights. One of my good sisters, Peach Lady, from the Peach Ladies Exotic Mixes, Lakeisha White, she hosts a karaoke open mic night on Wednesdays.
I
think it's at Grind and Wine.
Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna have to come through.
Yes, you gotta come through. And when I tell you, it ain't no karaoke. Like I said, I play with it, and I be like, but them people that be coming through that, I be like, wait a minute.
You sang it.
When your album come out? Because you ain't playing up in here tonight. I mean, they sings, honey.
Oh, that's fun.
So that's not putting no damper on the karaoke, because that has changed definitely in itself. But yeah, it just like, it definitely was original. I heard the crazy song several times, but you definitely put your own. It was Dashira. It was Dashira Zanaya coming through singing crazy. CeeLo Green, one of my favorite songs. And I was like, wow. But I don't know. Her rendition might be one of my favorites. Because, when that song came out, everybody was kind of like singing it on there. You know how it would be when a popular song come out, everyone wants to do their rendition, but you definitely
Love it.
did awesome. So yes, I totally agree with all of these comments over here in the chat. Thank you guys for joining us and showing this beautiful Queen Dashira Zanaya so much love. I hope you go out for everyone else who is listening and cop her album Twilight. I want her to share how you can locate that album, how to get in contact with her. I think I did share her IG name. You're just Dashira Zanaya on IG, right? It's just straight your name. We are going to put it in the chat before the end of the show, guys. But like I said, I'm doing her promotion. She open. So weddings, cabarets, kink says, all of that.
All the things. I've last year.
What's that part? Hold on. What's that? What's a king say?
What's the king say? That's Come on with it. Come on with it. You know what I was talking about, though. Come on now for the goodness of your soul. Kids say it's 15, but yeah, buddy, it is. But yes, well, we're talking about that. Have you ever sung in another language?
Yes, in Spanish, actually.
Oh, wow.
Now, it's been a while, but I did. I sang a Selena song, Como la Flor.
Okay.
And I sang it at an event back in Pasadena, California. It was a long time ago. But yes, I quinceañeras, weddings, funerals, birthday parties, all sorts of events. I do sing for all events. You can contact me on all of my platforms, social media. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and you can just basically message me. I'm open. Do not be afraid to hit me up in the DM. I will respond. If you follow me, I will follow you back. And it's Dashira Zanaya, and I will put that in the chat. As far as my album Twilight goes, you can find it on all platforms. So Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, YouTube Music. It's available everywhere. iTunes. So definitely support. I'm open to your feedback. How does the album make you feel? What song do you like best? What song do you like least? I'm open to all of the feedback and all of the love. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm excited.
Yes. And make sure you go through and show the sisters some love, because like I said, just from the first introduction, I'm loving it already. So yes, I gotta go to Apple somewhere. Like she said, it's everywhere. Search her by the artist, search by the album name, and it is there. So I definitely gotta go and cop that. Definitely put it on my playlist. Well, not playlist, you know, we all on Pandora now. That's what I be doing. But yes, I try to have that type of feel when I'm riding. That's the type of music that I like to listen to. You know, don't get me wrong, I cuts up a little bit. I like it sometimes, but it's like after a while, I might can listen to a song or two. Cutting up, and I'll be like, oh, that's my jam, something from back in the day. But after a while, I'll start to get a headache. It's kind of like, because I used to be dancing too. Shout out to Marquise Clanton, my cousin Marquise Revlon. Yes, we used to be dancing. We had our little dance group called the Broadway Posse, and I used to be breaking it down. My little people used to be amazed because my little chubby stuff used to be giving it up. Yeah. But you know, that's just that feel. So even like when I go out and I'm like in the club, you know, it's like club music coming on, and you like, oh, that's my jam to dance my pain away. But it's like by the time they play it, something about the 4th or the 5th, you're like, okay, can you turn it down? Or that's maybe me telling my age. I don't know.
No. When I go out and you know, I'll be lit, I'll be excited, I'll be turned, I'm ready to dance and have fun. And then, you know, some time go by, but I am an old soul. So maybe Retro and Naya, y'all tell me, because, you know, they're younger than me.
Yeah.
Y'all tell me. But after a while, I'm like, all right, let me listen to some Erica.
Okay,
Let me wind down. I
yeah.
want to sing my heart out to some Keisha Cole or something. I don't know. I want to
Give
relax.
me something I can even sing to. I can vibe to some R&B. You gotta like mixing up. Like
Put some love now.
I don't want to be on my knuck if you buck all night. Like, okay, I did that, right? So, well, look, at least I'm not the only one. I always have an old soul. But yes, that's how I be rolling them. I be like, okay, like, oh my goodness, it's a headache. And even with my children, they always laugh because sometimes I'm in that moment. So that's the music that they're listening to. My 5 years old, I always laugh because they know old songs too. And a lot of times people be like, how you know that song? And it's like my mama listening to that stuff. But then also, when I'm with them or they're here and they're listening to their music, we're riding, I let them listen, and they be tripping, they be laughing, like, "Mom, you like this song?" Yeah. And of course, we talked about the samples, so a couple of the songs have came back. Like, that's how old I am, a beat or something. And I gotta let them know, like, no, that's
the original
not their song. That song, and they be like, for real, and I be like, yeah, for real. Or even my youngest son, he always relates music to the movies, the cartoon movies. He'll hear a song and say, that's the song that was in such and such. And I'm like, no, it's just the song. They put it in the movie. So it's kind of funny to get him to understand, like, no, the song was already existing.
It was already done. I have a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
My little baby, he does the same thing. Oh, mommy, that's from Trolls.
Yeah. Yes, like Trolls made the song, right? Like, no, they put the song in, and he be like, oh, so he's getting it, but that's how he knows a lot of songs from listening to me. We sing. Music is definitely one of those things that brings people together. Like, music is love. It's just like laughter. It's just like a song. Like I was saying before, one of them songs, Change Wanna Come. I don't know. When I hear that song, it makes me feel like I was back there. It's just one of those songs that just like really touches me. Like, I love that song.
Me too.
It's some gospel songs that really speak to me. It's just like when I'm going through that, because I seen you mention that too in your bio, that you always use music to express yourself.
Yes.
Whether it was joyous times or troubling times. And I think that works both ways for the artist as well as the listener.
Yes. Like the song on my album is called Hold On. Yeah. I made that song when I was 19.
Okay.
And that was my first breakup.
Oh.
It's, hold on.
Yeah.
And it's just about like me not wanting my little relationship to be over. It was my first relationship ever. And my first heartbreak. And you can hear it all in there. That song was like 19-year-old Dashira.
Right.
So
but it's so relatable to, even it was 19-year-old Dashira, but it's so relatable to the 29-year-old or the 39-year-old or the 40-year-old ChasReal, So it's amazing how music it crosses generations, actually. What I mean? It's just one of those things, but wow.
Yeah, we all have not the same emotions, but I mean, we're all pretty much similar. We're all the same. We experience the same thing. The heartbreak that my mom experienced, back in the day when she was younger, when I had my heartbreak, she's like, well, baby, I've been there.
Yeah.
And I know how it is. And you can cry on me. And and then her mom, you know what I mean? So we all have those things. Or, when we're angry about something or we're sad about something, we have our aunts and our uncles and my grandpa, that'll come, well, baby, I know how that feels. Yeah. So feelings comes across generations. Music is feeling. So it's definitely timeless.
Yes, definitely. And when moments like that come up in your life, like, are those like those moments when you're like, I gotta write about that? Is it like, how is your creativity thrived? Is it, do you usually write like after something happens, or you kind of just be sitting like, oh, I'm gonna write? Like, how do you get the idea, I guess, for your songs? Is it usually stuff that's happening in your life?
Sometimes, but not all the time. The majority of my music, I'm inspired by other people. So my friends and my family, if they're going through a situation and I feel like I want to put some light on it, or I talk to my girlfriend and she's just living her life right now with whatever guy, right? Yeah. And I can write from her perspective. I write from different perspectives, like you mentioned earlier. That's why I was so excited when you said that. A lot of the times I write from other perspectives. I get inspired, even if it's something on the news or just everyday life.
Right.
Whatever I'm inspired by, I put myself in that headspace and I write from there. But there are songs like on my song Lost. It's have you seen a bow-legged girl who's 5'2" and brown skin too? I've lost her. That was about me. You know, songs like Hold On, that's about me. Like those things are real personal. Yeah. Those are about me. But songs like The Night,
but different, but certainly situations that people can relate to.
You know, that you can relate to.
Yeah. So even you're singing about you, and it was what you're going through, like how you just acknowledged. It's so many of our stories, and the great thing about music is that it is relatable, male or female. So it's a guy out here that can still relate to
Lost,
you know, Hold On, or the Lost, you know, that music is amazing in that way too. And we got Nia saying, sing Lost with an exclamation. So she was really, really, she was the queen that was on here earlier saying how amazing your album is. So that must be one of her favorite.
She loves Lost.
She loves Lost, right? So I don't know. Like I said before the end of the show, I'm definitely going to get you to sing whatever you want to sing now.
Of course.
Whatever is feeding your soul right now. And I want you to feel something or whatever. But I'm like that the same way too. I tell people that too, even with my posts sometimes on social media. You know, it says what's on, what is it? Like on Facebook, I know it say what's on your mind or what you're thinking. And I always had that. How many times have you posted something on there and someone will call you, you okay? Or you good? Or you what you mean? And you're like, no, like I'm posting it, it's on my mind, but I'm not actually
going
through this right now. I'm just putting it a perspective on it. Like I can relate, and I feel like someone may be going through this. So I'm speaking on it to hopefully inspire someone or encourage someone, you know, through that situation. So a lot of times music is the same way. That's how I used to be when I used to create my poetry. A lot of times I used to get my creative juices from my own pain, my own joys. But like how you said, things from interacting with people, different things that I know people were going through, looking at the news, walking down the street,
anything
in a situation, you know what I mean?
Like a bird flying.
Right. Even questions that I used to have, and it's like something just came on me, and like I need to write about that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's crazy. In honestly, I'm gonna tell you this: when you don't think too hard, that's when the magic happens. When you just let it be natural. I'm telling you, when it naturally comes, because it already was your gift. It already was there. You know what I mean? You just gotta find the words to put to the
song. You just have to find the words. And I literally I'll sit and I'm in silence if I'm writing just with me and God. I'll just sit in silence and I write, and it'll just be me and God. And then the words will just come out. And if it's God is always in the room, but when it's me and my music, the instrumental portion, I'm just listening to it and I'm just feeling it. And it just comes out. It just comes out. Now, if I'm forcing it, that's not what it is.
Okay.
That's not the one.
Yes, that's just not the one. That's not the one.
You brought up that it's so unique that you're able to put yourself in other people's shoes. A lot of us can't do that.
Yes.
So it's really great that you said you could write your poetry and your raps and everything that you did and are doing today.
Yeah.
You can put yourself in that other person's perspective, because that's a lot of the reasons why we're all fighting today. Because we can't understand our partner, our mom, whoever, whatever relationship, whether it's friend or family, or romantic relationship. A lot of the time, we can't put ourselves in their perspective. We can't put ourselves in their shoes. And with art, with dance, with all of these things, we're forced to. We have to feel that emotion. We have to. So I think that's very unique that you brought that up.
Yes, and it's incredible that music can do it for us, because I can remember in situations where I might have struggled to actually express myself in a way, and I put on a song, like how I said, or a way that I was feeling, and I put on a song, whether to lift me up or that's how I was feeling. Or I can remember going through stuff with my children's father, whatever. And I'm like, I don't feel like talking to him, but I'm gonna put this song on. Okay. It be that part too. I'm gonna put this song on while he right here, and he gonna know exactly how I feel, and I'm gonna be quiet, or I might, I ain't gonna talk to him, but I'm gonna sing the mess out this song in the background, so he can get it. That I'm talking about you, okay?
Oh, I've done that. I've sent guys songs. I'll send it to you.
Yes.
Oh, this how you feel? Yep.
Yes. And I've done it, especially that, like I said, my girl Jasmine, that Pick Up Your Feelings. I've definitely sent that out. One of my other ones, If Destiny Child.
Oh yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. One of my faves. I've definitely sung that out with with the infidelity and like, I knew. I've definitely
putting it out there.
But music is such a blessing in a great way to express yourself. So while you're giving salutes to me, I'm giving a salute to you, because I know also in being an artist and expressing yourself, I know it's one of those things where you do a lot of times have to be vulnerable and be willing and open to bring people in like that. A lot of times, like I said, we're so conditioned to hide our feelings and kind of suppress them. So while you're giving salute to me, is absolutely amazing that from the age of 7, this has been your dream, and that you are able to express your feelings through music, because everybody can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody can't do that. And then also is amazing, and salute to you, because you're putting music out there that can help someone actually express themselves. So that's what music does. So even like how I said, I play that song when I didn't want to talk to someone. So your music is doing that, for someone, or someone may have been going through a situation or feeling someone or feeling something and didn't really know how to express it or what it was, coming from themselves. And when they hear your song and they're like, that's it. Like how when I told you with the silent interlude, like I didn't know what I like, because we're so used as sisters being independent, being done wrong. So I'm over it. Living here in Baltimore, Maryland, the dating is like trash. People don't know how to date here, right?
Who are you telling?
The dating is like trash. So I'm like, I ain't running no. But when I listen to your song, it really put me in a space to say, I say that, but it helped me connect to that part of me. Like, no, but I really want that solid. And I really want that love. You know what I mean? So salute to you, because that's not easy at all. To be able to be open like that. And 9 times out of 10, like I said, when we write on Facebook, we write on social media, people typically think, oh, that's what we're thinking or what we were going through. And a lot of times as an artist, it's from your own personal experiences. And you really have to be open and just, that type of person, that's an amazing person to be able to let that out and not be ashamed, what I mean, in some way, out of it, like, this is what I'm going through, this is what I was feeling, and I'm gonna get it out.
I'm gonna get it out.
I'm telling you, you'd be
And I'm gonna
amazed
be
how many
vulnerable.
people that helps.
I
You know what I mean?
last night I performed By My Side. It was my first time ever singing it, performing it. Usually I'll sing Hold On, I'll sing Lost, I'll perform those ones, I'll perform True Lover, songs like that on the album. But I hadn't performed By My Side yet. And do you know, nobody knows this. Everybody's like, oh, you did so good. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, well, I was so nervous.
Wow.
This song is one of my babies.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely something to be vulnerable and then have somebody take a peek into your mind.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Scorpio woman.
Yeah.
So we are very secretive.
Yes, so the Scorpio.
We're secretive. We hold our emotions dear. And for me to put that out and for somebody to listen to it and become inspired by it, I learned early, like, oh, I have to open my mouth. I have to sing because it made my mom cry, but she was happy. She was crying happy tears.
Right.
She was happy. And from the age of 7, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
This is what I want to continue to do. That feeling of knowing my vulnerability. I gave her my all that day, right? My little 7-year-old self, right? I gave her my all. And me giving her my all, it impacted her in a great way. So that's what does it. A lot of the times it's like, oh, I'm so nervous. Are you going to like it? You know, I'm bearing my soul. So it may get dark. It may get deep. You know what I mean? Are you gonna go into there? Are you gonna, you know, and it makes me feel really, really good that I can help. I can inspire. Hopefully, you know, my music can heal.
Yes, definitely. And yes, Queen Bia is on here and she says you have helped her through many hard times. And I'm sure just being her daughter alone and being this wonderful artist and her seeing you evolve into being this little raspy little voice that you explained. And definitely having the thrive to be a singer, but mama just was keeping it real. Not that baby.
She had to. She literally had to be real. And in one of her songs, I wrote a song called Get Through This.
Yes.
And my mom is my number one fan. Okay. So I hear Twilight all the time in her car, everywhere. When I call, I'm like, oh, what you listening to in the background? You know, she's always listening to it. Oh. But one of the songs I wrote, Get Through This, so she listens to that song all the time. I wrote that song forever ago. And whenever she's having a hard time, she listens to that song. You know, my mom showed me, like, you can really make a difference in people's lives. You really can.
Yes, definitely. And you are going down. You're going to be one of the greats. You're already great now. But just like I said, we talked about early in the show, what were some of our inspirations as artists. And I want you to definitely open yourself up and receive that is going to be the conversation about you. That is some other young girl that doesn't even know they want to be a singer yet. That isn't even 7. It's probably not even here. Some young girl, some young boy, someone out there in the world, when they hear your voice, when they hear your song, even hopefully when they watching years down the line and they're looking at this interview, they're going to be like, yes, that is Dashira, Zanaya. And you'll be seeing them on that interview when they say, who inspired you? And that's what they'll say. Yeah, she did. And I'm sure it'll be this album and many more albums to come, because if you just dropping one out the blue on January 1st, I'm scared of you, because that's not easy, because people think that that's easy too. I know, and being an artist, because we talked about that a lot of times, about being the vulnerability of that and opening yourself up, letting people know what you're going through, giving them the ability to relate, but then also you're critiquing yourself. You know how you said your mom is your number one fan, and I know as an artist that we could be our number one hater.
Oh,
not
yeah.
Critic, not critic, but hater.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And what I had to start learning is that I remember when I used to perform a lot, and people used to be like, "You did great," such and such. You know, people still call me now to do poetry, and I might go and they be like, "You did great," and I be thinking in my head, "Oh, I messed up." So I learned a while ago that no one knows.
Nobody knows but you.
That's the great thing about it. No one knows. Like when you are doing it and you're performing it, you just got to own it.
Yeah.
No one knows, and just keep going.
Yeah.
And that's not just in music and performing. That is going to be my message tonight for life.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? We all make mistakes. You know what I mean? Not saying that the mistakes you make, you're trying to hide them so that nobody knows. But how many things happen in your life that really don't matter? Situations come on and we harp on it so much. But as being an artist, yes, child, we be having fans out there and we be our biggest haters, our biggest critics. Oh no, I don't like how that sound. People don't know how long. You said an album with 7 songs that you just brung out the blue. Like I said, I'm scared of you. But that's not easy. I mean, that is not easy. You talked about a little of your process on what it goes into write the song, but just give them some insight on that. Like it's not easy. Let them know I ain't lying to you.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. Like once after you are sitting there and you're writing, you're bearing I actually write my music on paper now. I mean, always. A lot of people, they'll like type it on their phones. Nothing against it.
Yeah,
but I'm old school. I write my music on my paper, even if it's tears on that paper or whatever. Or even if I'm just vibing, I'm just writing it all on the paper. Even if it's just a lighter song, right?
Yeah.
Like Love for You, and I'm just talking my mess. Even if I'm writing something like that, it's still something that was very intimate. So I like candles when I write. I have like a little blue light, it's very intimate. It's me and God in there writing. So once I present it out to the world, I'm like, are they gonna like it? Are they gonna like my voice? Are they gonna like the lyrics? Are they, are they gonna like the sound quality? Are they? It's so many things that's coming, or when I'm coming up on stage and I'm performing it live with the backtrack and myself, and I'm like, are they gonna rock with my vibe?
Right.
It's just, and not only that, I mean, I've experienced with me. I've always been loved. I've always been a happy child. And sometimes in life, you come across people who don't receive that well. So I'm so open arms. I'm a hugger. So like everybody will tell you when I come, I'm like, hi, I'm so open armed. And a lot of people don't always receive that. So
they don't.
When I am, and that's going to shine through my music, right? So I'm like, are they going to receive it? So you are completely right. It's definitely all of my music is sensitive to me. It's my baby. I'm so sensitive about it.
Sensitive. And you're talking about the beat in the song. How about I'm telling you, when you're in your head and locked in on one word, like, oh no, I didn't even say that word right. No. So, I always so it be in those moments I learned to like laugh at myself, just go with the flow. A lot of times, even, on this platform now, I know I get to talk and I say things incorrectly. It be in my head. Sometimes I lose the thought and I just keep it on moving. I'm like, I know what I meant. Messing with money.
It's fun.
Yes,
it's fun.
It is,
but that's what we have to remember, like that it's fun. So at the end of before every performance, I'm like, okay, I'm here to have fun.
Yes.
You cannot take yourself too seriously, right? Like take yourself seriously, but not too serious. You gotta have fun with life. What else are we gonna be doing? Like you on your podcast, you having fun, all right?
Yeah.
You in there,
I'm living, and I'm encouraging people to live and live how you need to. You know what I mean? Live how you need to live your life. Like absolutely. You know, like I said, when I started this show, this podcast, so many people are doing podcasts. I know so many people, like how we talked about in the music, Saxes was going, you know, whatever. So the podcast, we're always trying to look for content, things to talk about. And I talk about stuff, like I said, the negativity or whatever, I'll say that. But my motto is like your news, our views. So it would be things that I want to talk about, but I'm like, wait a minute, they ain't touching on it right there, or they're not bringing this up, or they're just highlighting all the negatives, or they're not really giving the real about how it is. Like how many of you sit here and we having this conversation, you know, just about being an artist. So even the inspired artists, or the artists who are listening, or the people who don't want to be artists who just listen to music, they can just hear like this is real, like this is really what goes on. And even for the other artists that out here listening, they're like, yeah, I go through that too. Like how we talking about with the songs. So it's always love. It's always light, and I like that I have the opportunity to have a platform where we can communicate, comprehend, and relate. You know, it's all in knowing. I feel like knowledge is power. It doesn't always have to be something so serious to speak, like for you to learn from. You know what I mean? I have to always, you know, be in the history books, or, you know, you get what I'm saying. It's like, I'm going to use it. God put it in my spirit. Like, yeah, this is what you need to do. You know, even though I talk and I be messing up the words, whatever, I'm like, wait a minute, people be paying me some attention. I'm like, yeah, they do. You come with that energy. And just like how you said, when you are a person that is always trying to come with that love, sometimes it's hated. It's hated, and people don't know how to take it because life is happening, right? So they're like, how can she be smiling? What is she so happy for? And this, and I know what she is going through, but I think people don't understand the other side of that, is that I know that. And I'm trying to show you that even in the midst of, it always goes back to that saying, I don't look like what I've been through.
Right?
So that's my biggest flex, that if you know some of my story or what I've been through, good. But look, I'm good. And I'm gonna keep on smiling because I done had some losses and everything else like that. But a life and more life is all I have to gain. So that's my thing. And I'm gonna do that every day of my life. If I can make someone feel good with so much bad going on out here, that's a plus for me.
To go after it.
You know
and
what I mean?
A lot of people don't they don't know how to receive love, I've realized. They don't know how to. I was very fortunate to have the mother that I have. And she loved on me. My whole family. I have a big old family. My grandpa had 21 kids. Wow. And they all got kids. And I got cousins.
I got Rolling Stone because he was, you know what I mean? But he probably wasn't playing 21. But even back then,
love. I get loved on. So I didn't lack that. So when I go out into the world and I love on people, they're like, hold on, what's this?
Yeah.
Where's the shirt?
You know what I mean?
What is this?
You don't know me like that.
So that's why I have grace. You know, I realize like, okay, you know, they're not receiving my love. And I'm not saying within my music, and even if within my music, they don't like it, they don't like it. But if you love it, you love it, and you get it, right? It's not for everyone. But in life, you know, when you want to love on somebody and you want to just give your light and shed your light and give hugs when you see people, and you know, and if they don't receive it, I still give grace, because I don't know where they just came from, and I don't know how they grew up, and they probably didn't have the mama that I had, you know. So it's just realizing that too, and that's back to what we was talking about, perspective.
Yes,
Putting ourselves in different people's shoes.
Yes, yes. And that's remarkable to be able to have that understanding of life and of others and other feeling. You know, that's respect. You know, they
Yeah.
go hand in hand. Respect is love. Love is respect. And I'm just one of those people that I embrace it all. So I do understand that I wouldn't know how good things are good if it wasn't for the bad things that come, or if it wasn't for the naysayers, you know, say you couldn't do this, or you're not this, or you shouldn't be this. So yeah, we good. We good.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Oh, 100%. I've had
yes.
so many of those conversations for sure coming up, because I actually been in the industry since I was 12 years old. So I started out as an actress. Well, I really wanted to act when I moved when we had moved to California. So, you know, going into Hollywood at 12 years old in front of my little self, in front of these directors, and you know, sometimes they weren't so nice, right? They're cutthroat.
Right.
And I already knew that. My mom had prepared me. She's like, okay, you're 12, but they're gonna talk to you like you are mommy's age. Like they're gonna, you know, so she prepared me for that. Right. So I had tough skin, you know, I still have tough skin. But I had to. So those words didn't discourage me. And I realized at a young age, you gotta have tough skin throughout it. And you know, you're gonna have naysayers, you're gonna have, and some of it is good feedback for you.
Yes.
Some of that stuff you gotta receive.
Yes.
Even harshly. If it hurts real bad, look at yourself, because why is it hurting so bad?
Yes.
You know,
say that.
I'm gonna look at myself in the mirror. You tell me, Dashira, you know, you say whatever, right? And I'm like, okay, let me look in the mirror and let me consider that. Why am I so offended by what you said? Why do I feel that deep in my heart like that? Let me look at myself in the mirror. And it, you know, so naysayers, sometimes they're just that. And then sometimes it's like you spin that and you feel that and you use that to grow. You know, that's what transition is.
Absolutely. Yes, you got it. Absolutely. Time is flying now. I'm telling you. It's approaching 8:30. We've been on here having such a good time. I definitely appreciate you for letting us know your story. Oh my goodness, it's a remarkable one. Thank you, Queen. My favorite, get through this. OMG, crazy. Okay. I'm going back on some of the comments, trying to say, I don't know. We've been so far back and forth in the comments. So forgive me, my people in the comments, because I don't know exactly what you were speaking on, but I still wanted to share what you were saying. Like people can't see. Again, I want to remind you that you can call in. Don't be no stranger. 443-642-9403. I always gotta look at the paper. Always forget. Then we had Tammy come through. Hey, Tammy. She said, Scorpios, we are deep with emotion, so it shows and speaks in your music. You are already great. Keep your passion flowing.
Oh, thank you so much, Queen.
Oh, thank you, Tammy. Now that is love. See, and that was something else too. I said, a lot of times we can be our biggest critic and critique ourselves, but then sometimes, like I said, we can just be psyching ourselves out about people gonna hate it, and people just be loving us. Like, oh, you did your thing. I still go through the same thing, like how you said, the anxiety, the jitters. Every time before I come on the show, every time after, some people call me, oh, Chas, that show was great. I'll be like, really? I should have said this, so I didn't get to talk about that, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, but you did, right?
You did. You did.
So it is all good. Your mom said, that's right, baby. Yes, that's right, baby. I love the love that is being shown for her. Again, if you just joining, you should have been on here. But my guest tonight is Dashira Zanaya. She is coming while she is in the middle of her mini tour. Right here, she has just, out of the blue, but she ain't new to this. She's true to this. Dropped her album, because that's just how bad of a queen she is.
Thank you.
She just dropped her album on January 1st, 2023, Twilight. And like I was saying, I got to hear the introduction silent interlude, and it was beautiful. I definitely am going to take the advice of Nia. I gotta get it. It's on everything, Apple, all of that, because I definitely gotta get in there and hear all them other songs. She said Lost. Someone said something else. That was their song. That was their song and all that and stuff like that. And 7 is one of my favorite numbers. I'm born in the 7th month. I come on at 7. My show runs 7 to 9, which is my birthday, July the 29th. So I'm like, yeah. So I definitely gotta cop the album. Don't want to forget I'm gonna write it down, but I'm gonna make sure that I type all of your contact information over here. We saying it, guys, but we just like it to be in the chat. For those who may have not been able to view us live, but can go back because the show is recorded and it will be on YouTube and all the other social platforms, so they can look back on it and say, yeah, that's how I find that. That's how I get in contact with her. Because there's a lot of love in the air this year for 2023. People getting married, people having birthdays, people want to relax. Someone might want you to come and serenade somebody. All of that. Booker. That could be part of her tour, right? That could be part of her tour. Tammy said you are most welcome for her last comment that she gave about you just being such amazing. We have Retro saying such an amazing story, but he refuses to believe that you couldn't sing though. He refuses to believe that.
I'm telling you,
with him. I think I'm with him, but she said, Retro, we don't have no choice but to believe her, but I don't know, but she can sing now. I told him sister can sing. You gotta check her out. She has her YouTube page. I loved her rendition on the CeeLo Greens. Crazy. So yeah, I'm sure. But before I give the listeners a treat, because we are ready to end off, I do want you to sing. Just wanted to bring up a couple of on my shows. I have a segment that's called What in the What? You know, that's where I kind of get my what's up, my what's from. Just wanted to give some updates on some stories that I have previously talked to. So stay with me, guys, because she's going to be singing. And when I say she can be singing, she do her thing. But just wanted to give y'all a couple of updates. For my followers, for my faithful viewers who always watch my show, different stories that I have talked about before. I like to do that too, where it's breaking news. Here in Baltimore, it was a 40-year-old Elaine Jackson, was an MTA bus driver who was slain last year in October, allegedly by a former lover, companion. Unfortunately, she succumbed to those injuries, but I wanted to bring it up because he was actually caught today in Atlanta, Georgia. Leon Douglas, 53. And I was just like, oh my goodness, baffled. Of course, grateful that her family can feel some type of peace, but it definitely does not bring her back. It was a couple of statements that came out in the media, a couple of documents they shared on the incident. And I can remember when I first heard about it, it was a lot like, okay, he got on the yard, he shot her, whatever. They knew that in order to be in this location, you had to have some type of affiliation with the MTA. So I'm like, okay, this is someone that works there. So to find out it was someone that worked there, they actually waited for her till she got off, and that's how he was able to be in the yard and have access to this area. But documents had came out about what he actually did. So I guess they seen the footage, and how he actually like really murdered this lady. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, she's there, he gets out, he shoots her. But that whole situation, you know what I mean? It's just crazy. So reports are saying that he actually got out, he approached her, people heard her scream, he shot her, and he actually stomped this lady.
Oh my God.
Before giving 2 more shots, one to the head and one to her chest. So the way that she was murdered was just definitely terrible. It's crazy because, like I said, it was already a terrible situation. But then sometimes when you hear the breakdown of it and how it actually happened, it's terrible for anyone's life to be taken in such a manner. But to hear the breakdown of that and just to know that he was allegedly a former lover, like regardless of what happened, and for it to come to that, and take her away from her 4 children, it definitely touched me in a way. Me being a mom, me being here in Baltimore City, and her being the same age. And I'm grateful that he's caught. So he's waiting for to be extradited back to Baltimore with the charge of the 1st-degree murder. He wasn't very far. He was in Atlanta, Georgia, but they got him. So
good.
Hopefully her family will receive some justice. Definitely justice, but it does not bring her back. But that is a great thing that I wanted to bring up and just give my listeners who know of me bringing it up before on the show some type of update. That just be like some of the what and what's, because I'll be like, we talking about the song Crazy, get crazy, like really crazy. And talking about crazy, I just wanted to bring up another what in the what, a story that I seen in Fresno, California. I was seeing terrible, another situation. I hate to bring terrible. That's why I'm gonna need you to sing us up out of this and bring it back. But it's just to give it to them Bruce. I like to bring up stuff sometimes that people might not hear about all the time, because a lot of stuff be happening and they tell us what they want us to know, right? But like I say, you gotta be careful. It just lets you know the times that we are living in with the people, because people say it's the world, but it's not the world, it's the people that is bringing out this energy and these actions that are just crazy. So in Fresno, California, it was a 26-year-old mother, Nakia, I think that was her name. It was written like a capital NKYA, so that's how I pronounce it. I told you I got a thing with names. Nakia Logan was 26 and she tragically lost her life. She was 26 and she was 36 weeks pregnant. Not only did she lose her life, but also her unborn child. She was viciously stabbed several times. Her child, being in the womb at 36 weeks, also was stabbed. So,
oh my gosh.
But what was devastating is that they did their investigation, and what had happened was her body was placed in a trash can in an alley, and it was put on fire. So the maintenance man to the apartment building seen the fire. He comes to put the fire out, not realizing there's a body in there, just thinking, a trash can was on fire. So when he sees that it's a body, he calls the police. They do their whole investigation, and they just locked her brother up for it. 41-year-old Ern Dudley is accused of stabbing his sister several times and her baby as well.
Wow.
In the womb, 26-year-old. Rest in peace. My prayers go out. They were living with their mom. Anything, but I just hear certain stuff and I'm just like, what in the what? Y'all know ChasReal got bring it to y'all, right? And everyone's listening. So these stories I bring up so you can just go read about it. I bring up some, what's your name? But I bring y'all some good all the time. Right? I just gotta let you know what the reality of things is. And a lot of times from these stories and me bringing them out is to point out the fact, the craziness, of course, the what with people, but then also to just get people to realize how very blessed you are and grateful you should be for remaining safe, to still be living. How vulnerable the mind can be. People would do things that you never thought that they would do. And that's why I like to bring stuff up, like in instances like this, because the brother was like still in the house. They didn't figure it out. So they did their investigation, looking on cameras, and they see him dragging the trash can and putting it on fire. So they did a warrant. They went and locked him up. He tried to run. But how devastating that must be for the mom to,
bury her daughter and then
at the
put her son in jail.
At the hands of your son, right? That's crazy. That's crazy. But we gonna pick it back up. Those were some of my what in the whats. You know how I do. If you ever want to be a guest, please come through and do so. You can hit me on my personal chats, or on my personal messengers, do IG, ChasReal_7 or Chastity the Empress Dorsey on Facebook. Also, I have the You Better Live Facebook page. You can hit me in the messenger. Go directly to our website on www.beexposedradio, because Be Exposed is the way to be. If you want, is the place to be. So come this way if you want to be in a place, is what I was trying to say. But yes, we open it up for you to be a guest. Email, be a guest. We do advertisement, all of that good stuff. You know, when I come through on Thursdays, you can always feel free to call in. I appreciate you also very much on the comments, but also call up and feel free. I like to hear my voice, but I would love to hear yours because that is a different connection. And on another side of things, just ending up my what and the what's, here in Baltimore, they have initiated, what is it called? Because we talking about jail and locking people up. I got to go back to my notes, right? It is called Ignite the Light, which is a 2-week warrant sweep that the U.S. Marshal Service, along with federal agents and stuff, have been assisting the city of Baltimore. I always talk about all the senseless killing, all the senseless crimes that are here. So they ignited that, and to date, they have locked up almost 6 dozen people. Yes.
Wow.
68 people, 3 gang related, and these are all for violent crimes, all for stuff like murder, attempt murder, sexual assault, kidnapping, carjacking, and understandably so. These are people who have warrants on them for years. So considering that's almost 100 people, 68 with like these violent crimes, they coming through here, they doing their sweep. So sorry to have to report to you guys if you're looking and you got a warrant and it's a violent crime, they looking for you. And I'm at the point of being a Baltimorean, and I know so many people can contest to this, is that you do the crime, you got to do the time. We want y'all out of here. I know whatever they say, they put that light on us being the snitch or other that stuff, but everybody I know is not worth it. We tired of it. We tired of seeing people baby dying. I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of seeing it. So thank God, and whatever they're doing, the different initiatives and the approaches that they're doing. Of course, we don't want the police brutality and y'all harassing us, the people that are not criminals. Focus on these people. Because I beg to question, like, you know, that it took the federal agents and them to come in here. So that says something too. But it's a great job. I'm glad that they're all working together to get it done. But yeah, it's a lot of people here that be getting locked up for stuff, the same violent stuff. I'm not talking about stuff as, you know, making a mistake. And, you know, because, you know, I understand that everyone gets locked up is not a criminal. So everyone that commits a crime is not a criminal. That is a difference. I worked in that avenue for quite some time in advocacy with youth and everything. And I understand people make mistakes. People who have records that are not criminals. But we also have those people that are making the choice. You know, that's how good God is. He gives you that choice. So I understand that we have circumstances and situations that may put us, or, you know, even being in an environment, you know, I'm in the same environment. I had the same circumstances. I have the same, but it's that choice. You get what I'm saying? So if you do something and you're arrested, I'm not saying that you're necessarily a criminal, but if you're one of those people that you do something and you keep doing it and you keep doing it and you keep doing it and you keep doing it, I ain't talking about stealing a can of tuna fish to feed your baby, I'm talking about running down on people, traumatizing people, putting guns to them to steal their car just for you to take a joyride and do all that other stuff and all that. Yeah, we need them out here. I'm talking about just having words and shooting up a whole block and killing people and all that. Yeah, we need them up off of these streets. Baltimore. So I'm manifesting that this year, every year. I'm telling you, I'm so humble, and I really do understand how powerful that grace and mercy and love of God is. And some people, we be getting it twisted. We be thinking things got to be our way, and baby, it's God's way, God's will. And I'm telling y'all, you better cry out. People say pray, I'll be begging. Do you hear me? Like, that's how humble I am to God, because people don't understand that. Like, it's so much stuff. And I bring up this stuff and all this stuff going on over the world too, to let people know, like, things are happening everywhere, and how grateful I am, and how grateful you should be out here listening to me, that God is still keeping you. Because that kind of you is nothing that sets us apart. Like how I spoke on, I'm in the same environment. I'm in the same circumstances. I walk out here every day. I drop my babies off at school. I drive in my car. I come home every day. People die in accidents every day. People are getting carjacked every day. You know what I mean? People are shooting up the schools and all this other stuff. But for the grace and mercy of God, I made it through another day. That is, if that isn't the most humbling thing in your life for you to take that in, I want you to take that in. I'm trying to tell you that grace is something else. Like, because it could have been you. It wasn't. And that's not saying that who it happened to wasn't blessed or God wasn't watching over their lives. But just understand that consideration, because God has his hands on everything. And you are just a speck. Just like how your faith needs to be. It's billions, trillions. I don't even know the population of the world. I got to look it up. But you get what I'm saying, right? You get what I'm saying, right? This year, we're like, come on. And guess what? We're going to get back to the topic. And that's why I'm glad we got things like music as well. Because 7 billion, give it to me, Mama. It's 7 billion people in the world. And out of them 7 billion, God is keeping us. And God has brought her here tonight with the Queen, Dashira, Zanaya, who is out with her album Twilight that she dropped on January 1st. Before we get on out of here, because it is 8:48. That time flew. You know, you've been on here talking to me all this time.
It doesn't even feel like it. It doesn't even feel like it.
Time flies when you having fun. Look, and I'm going to say the wish and with the Lord tag that we put. We had a time last night. That's what I'm going to be telling people. And look at that, 7. Look, 7 billion people in the world. We came on our show at 7. Look, I'm going to go back, right? 7. We came up with her album Twilight that is 7 songs. Come on.
Hold on. What you trying to say, God?
Okay. Yes, 7. That might be the next album that's coming out. What's your name? And hey, Miss Queen T. I knew you were on here. Miss Queen T. Hello. That's one of my faithful. That's my family right there. I didn't want to say my follower, my listener. That's my family right there. Hey, Miss Queen T. I hope you enjoyed the show and you ready to get one of the best parts of the show, because she is ready to let us hear her beautiful voice for free. For free. So I don't know, whatever you want to sing, but before you sing, while you're singing or whatever you want to sing, you can introduce how you want to do. I am going to be typing your information in the chat, so I am paying attention, but I want to make sure we handle that definitely, because while you're singing, you're not going to have a chance to. But guys, I love you all. Queen Dashira, Zanaya, right here live on the You Better Live show. I live for it. It's going to give us a blessing. Some goodness for your soul. Some goodness for your soul. And I'm going to just let her surprise us.
Thank you.
I'm going to let her surprise. We ready when you ready.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much for your platform and spreading light and love. And even with those young boys and those stories that you were talking about on What the What, you know, whatever you put out, you get back. And, you know, whatever we see, if we see something, we need to say something. So if we see that our brother or our sister ain't doing right mentally, we need to say something before they harm themselves or someone else. And what you're doing is so great for our community. So you can prevent young boys and young girls from going to jail for murder. So I commend you, and I appreciate you. And on that note, I'm going to sing. I was debating between A Change Is Gonna Come, because you kept saying you like that one. And then there's this other song I sing. It's called Summertime. It's an older blues song, and it's definitely inspiring. I'm gonna sing Summertime, just a little bit of it for you guys. And I hope you enjoy it. Again, my name is Dashira Zanaya. Twilight is out on all platforms. Summer jumping and the cotton is high. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. And that's Summertime. My name is Dashira Zanaya. You can find me on all platforms. Thank you so much, Chastity. I appreciate you. You better live. Be Exposed Radio. Thank you all. I love you all. Peace.
Yes, you better live. Throw it up one time. We put up that I love you, son. God loves you. God bless you. Queen Dashira Zanaya was up on here in blue, honey. Y'all heard it. The sound even went out some because guess what? But y'all know she said it was on there. I am going to put the information in the chat. I was such in the trance trying to listen that I didn't get to that. But you know I do. I'm definitely going to make sure that information is out there. I love you guys. You know, your news, our views. I'm back next Thursday at 7 right here. The You Better Live show with the goddess ChasReal, the Empress Lady Cake Mix. Peace out. You better live. You better live. You better live. You better live.